Hey there. So the title of this video is, if you want big arms, stop doing bicep curls. But the real message of this video is going to be, stop doing bicep curls if you want big arms until you have done the pieces of advice that I'm going to give you, because doing heavy bicep curls is important to getting big arm growth. However, if you do the things I'm going to tell you in this video, you'll be better able to hit stronger bicep curl lifts and ultimately grow your arms. So I don't make too many videos on the actual training elements of bodybuilding and fitness. However, that's because I like to keep things fresh and I like to do topics that people haven't really touched upon. So when it comes to biceps and growing your arms, if you go to a gym and you see a lot of people who are, you can tell are newer and they're a little bit less experienced, you'll often see them doing exercises like bicep curls, because what their theory is, they want to just grow their arms as quick as possible, and they're just trying to do bicep curls because they know it works the arm. Now, and the bicep particularly. So what I'm going to tell you in this video is, number one, people will make this distinction between isolations and compound exercises. So compound exercises would be exercises that work multiple muscle groups at once. And this is going to be exercises like back rows or, even a bench press, squat. Those are compound lifts. And when it comes to increasing your bicep curl, because that's what you're going to want to do ultimately with the bicep exercises, you're going to want growth to come as a result of strength increase. So a guy who can curl 50 pounds is going to have a lot bigger arms than a guy who can only curl 30 and with a single dumbbell. So when it comes to increasing your overall strength of a bicep curl, you are going to get way more strength increase if you start focusing on the compound lifts that affect your biceps. So that would be a lot of your back exercises and your back rows and even the lat pulls, because when you shift your focus to those compound exercises, what's going to happen is your body is not only going to get stronger overall, but you're going to affect the stabilizer muscles in your body that actually will make bicep curls and isolation movements a lot better, and you'll be able to progress on them a lot quicker. This is because, example, if you're doing a low row, right, with a barbell, and that's a two-armed exercise, which is already giving you the position of, not just having one joint responsible in the movement. You're going to have a two-armed exercise and a larger amount of weight typically than, you can curl with one arm. So if you're able to lift heavier weights in a compound setting, obviously that's going to help increase the stabilizer muscles that do any sort of pulling motion. But in general, even just from logically, what's going to happen is you're going to activate the biceps in a way that exposes them to larger loads of weight. And this is ultimately going to strengthen your arms a lot more, and your biceps particularly, more so than a heavy bicep curl that your body really isn't able to handle at that time. So if you are a newer, less experienced, person trying out the gym and trying to get into it more, what you really should be doing if you want those big arms is focus your plan on getting adequate compounds lifts in, particularly for the biceps. So if your goal is bigger arm growth, make sure that you're focusing your plan more so on compound days that affect the arms. So pull day, basically. So make sure you're hitting adequate pull days and back days, basically, and focus your strength goals on those first and supplement that with your bicep days. So your plan really should look like, over a course of weeks, that you are not necessarily just focusing on, I want to increase an extra 5 pounds on my dumbbell curl. You should be trying to add an extra 20 pounds onto your barbell row before you add that 10 pounds, 5 pounds onto your next single arm dumbbell curl. Overall, there are other tips that people will tell you, like, increase the volume to your bicep exercises, increase the volume and overall the amount of reps you're doing for your arm days. However, it's just about taking the right approach. It's about taking the right strategy, and the right strategy in my eyes that has helped me to curl, 55 pounds an arm is even in my cuts when I'm 32 pounds down. Basically, the approach that I take and have always taken, fortunately from doing lots of research, was focusing on those compound days, focusing on the heavy back lifts, and that's, like I said, not only going to affect the stabilizer muscles that hold you still and that support your one joint that's involved with a bicep curl, but overall it does expose your arms to larger loads of weight, which will then make it easier for you to increase that weight that you're able to curl. So just a little side note here, the strength principle, the overload principle, is going to be key. You're going to need to over time gradually increase your bicep curl. However, if you're going into the gym without any adequate focus on the compound lifts that affect your biceps before actually training your biceps, that is where the key distinction lies in this video. So you need to adequately attack the compound lifts that work hand in hand with your biceps, so the ones that recruit the biceps, aka the back lifts, and then focus on slowly increasing that bicep curl. And then you can throw in other tips like high volume. My approach actually is, hit the back days very hard, weighted pull-ups, even like think of a narrow grip weighted pull-up. That position that my arms are in there is already recruiting lots of the bicep. And if you can increase your example pull-up, your weighted pull-up weight, that is going to go miles for increasing your bicep strength and ultimately your arm size, way more so than, doing a certain cool bicep exercise you learned on a YouTube channel. So that is this video is about the approach, it's about the strategy. And the strategy is ultimately, if you want big arms, don't just do bicep curls, change your approach so that it facilitates you to hit higher weight levels with your bicep curls. So this also includes, doing your double armed, your barbell bicep curls, but overall it's going to come down to the right approach. And the right approach is setting up those compound lift days and focusing on the strength goals of those, and then supplementing that with your isolation moves. So isolations are very important. However, think of it this way too. A guy who is massive, think of like a 300 pound guy, bodybuilder. That guy's isolation moves are going to look way better than somebody who's a noob in the gym. And most of those strength that those guys get comes from affecting their whole frame, affecting their whole body it's not simply just the bicep involved in the movement. Their bicep strength is just a byproduct of being strong at all those other lifts. So that is the approach. That is why that is how you're supposed to set up your whole plan, your whole program if you want rapid arm growth. So that is my video on this. This is another video on my little training segment of my YouTube page. Like I said, I don't want to talk about topics that people already will show you on YouTube. I want to bring new ideas to light, and a lot of my ideas are, inspired by more of a classic bodybuilding style and approach. So if you'd like to learn more about those things, you can feel free to subscribe to my page, send me other topics you'd like me to talk about, hit me up on Instagram. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. My name is Anthony Romano. Thank you for watching. Peace.